If you like whiskey and you like to drink whiskey, you're living in a really good time. There's more varieties of whiskey out now than there ever has been.
Welcome to Bull Run. This is our tasting room. It's a speakeasy vibe that the door is always open and you don't need a password for. What you'll experience, though, are one-of-a-kind barrels and spirits that you won't see anywhere else.
Growing up, there was just a few whiskeys out there available nationally, but with the rise of craft distillation, there's hundreds of different types of whiskeys being made now, and it's a time of experimentation.
I always felt, working with my family, they are really putting their heart into what they're doing.
Some people feel like that could be a disadvantage and that you're working with family all the time, but honestly, it makes all communication, I think, easier.
They want your business to succeed, and not every employee treats their job like that.
We've been in business now for 14 years, and there's been a lot of changes even in 14 years. We've really focused now on barrel finishing. And barrel finishing is a great way to differentiate ourselves from the bigger distilleries, but also offering more things to our customers, more flavors to our customers. And so taking a barrel of bourbon, putting it into a Pinot Noir barrel or a cognac barrel or vermouth barrel is going to give you different layers of flavor out there and something completely unique for people to try.
One of my favorite things that we do at Bull Run is our custom barrel program. Now what that means is we are sending out samples of barrels to a liquor store or a business, and once that group picks their favorite, then we are able to bottle it up and put a personalized label on it.
And what's nice about this too is, in a way, kind of borrowing it from the wine industry, we can't really put vintages on spirits, but the fact that each barrel is a little bit different, you can't duplicate it.
This is our storehouse. We have about 200 plus barrels of whiskey here. We have some bourbons, ryes, even some barrel finishes over here, and some single malts. In fact, we also store another distillery's products right here, just because here in Portland, all the distilleries are kind of like a happy family. We don't like to compete as much just because we understand that there's so many nuances to the flavors, so we like to all work together.
A lot of people still think all whiskey tastes like Jack Daniels, and it's, for our tasting room and for our team and for us educating the public that it's a lot more than that.
Most of the time people come in here, they are already under the impression that they want to try whiskey. That is what we're most known for, which is whiskey. However, we do have a full lineup of 17 different spirits and specialties vodka as well. We have a total of 3 vodka. We also have 1 gin, 2 rum, 2 aquavits, and 1 arak for people to try and experience. That's kind of the beauty of a tasting room experience, is trying something that you haven't had before.
I've always loved spirits, even when I was in wine, because spirits kind of broke the ice of a wine dinner, and was fascinated with people putting flavors together for cocktails. And I am a foodie, so I love to infuse our spirits and show this is better than Fireball. Put your own spin on things, and just how much better that tastes.
I think a lot of people know that they can come by here and get something that they've tried before and they really like it, or they can come by and try something new, or discover something new that they didn't have. We have a unique environment that isn't like New York, isn't Texas, isn't Kentucky, isn't Scotland. I mean, that's what you really got to take in consideration, because this is where the product spends most of its life in a barrel in some environment. And that's what really, kind of dictates, the aging process there. And I think that's what's going to differentiate us from other areas. But also too, water is a very important ingredient too.
Really, that water. So it's like, that's kind of the main thing that they always talk about, is that like kind of limestone, which here we don't have any limestone involved in the water process at all.
And in broad terms, you have hard and soft water. Well, in particular, Portland's water is very soft.
It doesn't have a thicker viscosity to the whiskey itself, and then is not implementing too much flavor to it either.
And it's very fortunate to have, such a great wine industry here. There's a plethora of barrels available from all different producers, all different coopers. And so all that builds up to get, every single barrel is going to be completely unique. And I think that's what's intriguing to people as well, and especially for a lot of the retailers we work with. They're getting something that the person down the street, their competitor, doesn't have. And they know their clientele, you know, that like whiskey, and so they are, when they pick a whiskey from us, you know, they've already got it sold to their clientele that they know that they'll like it.
I think they work because people like to have something to provide for their best customers or their friends that is something you can't find anywhere else.
It's kind of like a vintage in wine. You know, if you like it, you know, better buy it now, you know, or because we can't duplicate this single barrel ever again. You are really embracing what that barrel has to offer, and once it's gone, it's gone.